And so my legend begins.
Hey guys, my name is Turkey and I'm currently a rank 1600 support player, and as you can see I've played quite a few games of Earth Spirit. In this series I'll show you everything there is to know about playing Earth Spirit along with the concepts to be a great position 4 player. In this first episode I'll mostly be going over the basics of what Earth Spirit spells do, my personal hotkey setup, and some basic spell usage, so if you already have a pretty good understanding of Earth Spirit, feel free to skip on to the next video. So with that out of the way, Earth Spirit's a melee strength hero primarily played as a position 4 support, and his abilities can be used in a variety of different ways and combinations, allowing him to be incredibly versatile. In order to be a really good Earth Spirit player, you not only need to be able to accurately hit your mini skill shots, but be able to quickly decide when and how to use them. So the first ability we're going to talk about is actually the 4th ability. This spell is called Stone Remnant and you start the game with it. You don't have to put any points in this spell, it's just there. So the ability allows you to place a target stone on the ground and lasting 60 seconds with 7 charges. Each charge will take 20 seconds to replenish. Earth Spirit is unique in the sense that the stones are like a third resource they have to manage. You have your HP, mana, and stone remnants. All of your other spells will require stones to function, so without efficient and proper stone management, you'll be useless. Earth Spirit's first ability is called Boulder Smash. It has 2 main uses. You can either kick a stone to slow and damage an enemy hero, or you can use it directly on an ally or enemy hero to displace them. The next spell, Rolling Boulder, is a mobility spell and stun. Casting will turn you into a boulder rolling in the target direction. If you hit an enemy hero with your roll, you'll be stopped and you damage and stun them. Rolling over a stone remnant will greatly increase the distance and speed of the roll, as well as doubling the stun duration. Earth Spirit's third ability is called Geomagnetic Grip. This spell will allow you to pull the target stone remnant towards you, damaging and silencing any enemy it passes through. Its ultimate ability is called Magnetize. Upon casting, nearby enemies in a small radius receive a damage over time debuff lasting 6 seconds. Placing a stone remnant next to an enemy affected by Magnetize will cause the debuff to reset and spread to nearby enemies. Additionally, all enemies affected by Magnetize will share the slow and silence debuff from his first and third spell. Aghanim Shard and Aghanim Scepter. His Aghanim Shard will give him 4 extra charges of Stone Remnant and cause each stone to give a little bit of AoE vision. This is mostly useful for congesting Roshan. And the Aghanim Scepter will give Earth Spirit a new ability called Enchant Remnant. This will allow you to turn an ally, enemy, or yourself into a Stone Remnant, making them invulnerable and pretty much the exact same properties as a regular Stone Remnant. This means you can kick and pull enemies and allies, and when you use it on yourself, you're actually able to cast Boulder Smash, sending you flying.
Exactly.
Now moving into my hotkeys. When playing Earth Spirit, it'll really make your life a whole lot easier to put your spells on quick cast, but for me personally, I like to have Rolling Boulder on regular cast. However, the one spell I think you should definitely put on regular cast is Stone Remnant. This is so you can double tap the hotkey to place a stone directly in front of your hero, allowing you to keep your mouse and camera closer to your target. This can come off as a bit awkward, but it's a mechanic you really need to practice and get used to. So for example, I can double tap my hotkey to place a stone, so I can kick here. So I see this axe over here, I see him, I can just double tap hotkey, kick, and then I can pull back in silence without even having to move my mouse. If you're going to use it the other way, then you would have to bring your mouse back here, place the stone to kick it, bring it back to silence. It's a whole lot of movement that can come off as very, very slow. Same thing with the roll. All I have to do is, I see my axe over here, I will just press W and use double tap to place the stone in front of my hero. And then I don't have to move my mouse or my camera. So now, like, I don't see the Sven here, I'm going to roll on the axe. All of a sudden there's Sven, I can quickly just silence him, so I don't get stuck. If I'm using the other way without the double tap to cast, that's a tongue twister, then I'll have to bring my mouse back over here and then try and find my camera, and I might not be able to silence the Sven in time because it's very slow. So especially when starting out with Earth Spirit, it's really important just to be comfortable with the different spells and be comfortable using all your abilities and all different types of orders. Being able to pick it out, well, you should be able to do that with your eyes closed. You know? Because there's not one spell order they need to do every time. The situation changes and you need to use different spells at different times. So you just need to be comfortable using them all types of different ways. So that way you can think on your feet and just be comfortable using it. The less you have to think about your spells in the game, the more you can think about like the game as a whole. So you can just get into like a demo lobby and just practice using all your spells. Just practice kicking it out. Practice using the double tap to self cast if that's something you're not used to. Get used to how fast and how far the roll goes, so that we can hit people that are moving or people that are really far away. All these things are really important versus practicing, oh, like, this is the combo you have to do every time, you know? So I guess I'll try and talk about some more basic things that you might use more often than not. So go-to, especially in the early game, is roll into kickback. Especially in the mid lane, if you see the enemy mid step up a little bit too far, then you can TP mid or run mid, and you're basically, all you're going to do is roll onto them and then kick them back into tower. Instead of kicking a stone, you're just going to kick the hero directly. So Zeus steps up, I roll onto him, and then during the stun duration, you can kick him back. Now obviously you're going to be a lot quicker, especially in the early levels when your stun isn't that long. So what it looks like a little bit quicker is Zeus sees Zeus step up a little bit too much.
The way is clear.
You're going to roll onto him and quickly just kick him back under tower. And then with your mid laner, that should be a free kill every time. And it doesn't just apply for mid lane too. It can happen a lot in side lanes, especially when you have more creeps. We'll get into this more in some of the later episodes. But especially when you have more creeps, sometimes you can do more damage by kicking them back instead of by slowing them. See, I kick the Zeus back here, he has all these creeps hitting him, and he has to run this distance here. Versus if I slow him right here, he already is back under tower, even though I slowed him. Yeah. So, it's kind of situations like that where you need to think, is it better to slow them, or is it better to kick them back? Continuing on, like I said, it's hard to give you like a one-fits-all kind of spell order, because it can really be different on your scenario. For instance, whether they have BKB or not, and you need to use all your spells as fast as you can to try and burst them, or if they don't have BKB, and you're just going to try and wait and perfectly chain stun them and silence them, so that way you can get as much damage off without them being able to move. It's just like that, where you really need to kind of think and understand when you should use what spells. But moving into more like mid-game stuff, like the most common spell order, I would say like just start off a team fight, because Earth Spirit's mostly an initiator. You'll want to roll in, and as soon as your roll hits, you're going to want to drop Magnetize. This is so you minimize the chance of missing it, because if you don't Magnetize instantly, they kind of walk to the side and you ult, and then you don't Magnetize anyone, that can really ruin the team fight right off the bat. So you're going to roll in, Magnetize instantly, and then drop a stone to spread it. You want to get your Magnetize going as many heroes as possible. So, roll in, Magnetize, drop a stone. And then as soon as you drop a stone, you're going to want to pull it in to get the silence off. So drop a stone, spread it to everyone, and now everyone is silenced. That's usually a pretty good way to start the team fights. But, like I said, we'll get into it more later on, but when you should kind of do what, but spell usage really differs with what's going on in front of you, what heroes are there, who you need to go on, and stuff that you really need to be thinking about when you're playing for Spirit. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. In the next video, I'll get more into item and skill builds, as well as how to play the lane and basic gameplay. In my opinion, Earth Spirit's the most fun hero in Dota, and with a little bit of practice, hopefully you can enjoy playing him as much as I do. Please drop a like and subscribe, as well as check out part 2 of the guide. Thanks, guys.